Hello and welcome back to another Death Count Gaming video. Today we are going to review A Bug's Life on the PS1, a game that I have recently beaten in my current Let's Play videos. Unlike other reviews, I rate games a little differently. I judge the game into 5 categories and give each a score out of 10. In case you haven't seen any of my reviews before, these categories are story, graphics, difficulty, gameplay, and my personal opinion. Once each game gets a score, I will add them all up and get an average score on how good the game truly is. And then I'll place it on a list at the end of this video to show where the game actually ranks on other games that I've played. Now that you know the system, let's begin. A Bug's Life on the PS1 is about an ant living its life and managing through certain things that are happening to the anthill he lives in. We follow the life of Flick, an outcast, the hill's odd ant if you will, that does everything differently from everyone else. The hill's goal is to set aside food for these grasshoppers that secretly bully the ants, and one day, before they're about to receive their food, Flick accidentally sends all the food into the river below, making the movie's bad situation. The grasshoppers then set a time limit to give them their food, which is when Flick has the brilliant idea to leave and to get bugs to fight for them. This game captures and follows the movie perfectly, using cutscenes and adding a few things here and there that don't really happen in the movie at all, but add a level of depth and levels, obviously, to the game. There's nothing wrong with that. Disney movies are good, especially Bug's Life, and this game follows the movie almost greatly. Usually games and movies, or games of movies, end up making up their own events. So it's good to see one that actually follows the source material well. With all of this in mind, for story, seeing how the Disney movie is good, and that the game is pretty much following the story, I'm going to give this game an 8 out of 10 for story. As for the graphics in this game, the game itself has seemed to age rather well. Each character is clearly represented and obvious as to who it is. Even the enemy's animation is good. Hopper in the final level, however, doesn't look half bad. He looks decent, as well as with all the other grasshoppers that come up in the game. But through all of this, the backgrounds and level areas themselves look a little worse for wear. Not the best, but yeah, this is the PS1 game. The backgrounds may look a little copy and pasted, as in that little picture that's looping around the entire area. But compared to other games that I've played from PS1, it looks fairly decent. Overall, this is an actual PS1 game, and overall, it looks to have aged rather well. So, in thinking and considering all of this, I'm deciding for graphics to give this game a 6 out of 10. Difficulty-wise, this game isn't that hard. The main challenge comes from collecting these coins that allow you to grow certain things provided you have the seed to grow it. That's the little orange thing there. Enemies are positioned around this fact, and the main challenge is not to get hit while moving from point A to point B. Also, there is more challenge if you decide to go on the collectathon the game throws in front of you. That is, collecting the 50 grain, the goldberry kills, and collecting Flick's name that is in each level. Getting 100% in each level allows you to look more at the movie in cutscenes, also giving you 1 life and other character benefits. The camera is also a little bit of a challenge, but there's nothing really too terrible about it. So, with all this in mind, for difficulty, considering all of this, I will give the game a 5 out of 10. As for gameplay, the controls are easy to get, the controls are easy to understand, and everything can be learned through the Cakewalk tutorial, which is completely skippable from the beginning, so there is that option if you end up getting stuck with the controls somehow. The character is easily responsive, and there is quite a lot to do. As mentioned before, there is a collectathon in this game, but it is skippable and not mandatory to complete at all. So it leaves it up to you on how you want to play the game and if you want to do the collectathon. However, there is benefits of doing the collectathon with an extra life and everything mentioned before. You can certainly have fun playing this game with the vast amount of things you can do. So, with all of this in mind, for gameplay, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. In my opinion, this is a good game that I enjoy playing a lot. It has good, memorable music as well, which also can get stuck in your mind with these catchy notes. Each level also has unique music assigned to it, setting the level's tone, which just makes the game more memorable. Flick's voice can get a little repetitive, saying some things over and over as you get certain items, but overall, it's not really that bad or annoying, or over the top for that matter. I enjoyed playing this game, and in my opinion, this game should receive an 8 out of 10. In general, this is a good game, which still is great and memorable even to this day. It may not be the best game in the world, or the game that has aged the best, but it is still good in my opinion. It adds choice and somewhat of a challenge, and throws memorable music at you with each level, with the same Bugs Life story you see in the movie. Only with slight variations, but you get my point. Some people may condemn it because of the camera, or because of the slight off-putting graphics which it has. Yes, it's aged, it's PS1. But I have no problem playing this game, which I still enjoy playing now. This is why the game gets an overall average of a 7 out of 10. And in case you missed my gameplay series I did on A Bug's Life for the PS1, I fared a total of 4 deaths in the 2 hours and 19 minutes it took for me to beat this game. If you want to watch that 5-part series I did, I'd be very grateful. Otherwise, thank you for watching this review, and I'll see you again in the next video.